Hi, today we're going to talk a bit about how to set up a good bedtime routine for your child so that you can reduce the occurrences of problem behavior and hopefully get to bed a little bit more smoothly, setting up the stage so that you can start to tackle any sleep challenges. Let's get to it. Hi, my name is Gabby. Welcome back. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and your notifications so that you'll know the next time that I put up a video. In order to address challenging behaviors around bedtime, one of the primary things that you need to do is to look at what your bedtime routine or what the time before sleep looks like. So first, I just want to mention some of the components that you need to think about when you're thinking about your bedtime routine in general. Things like consistency, that you're supporting sleep pressure, that it's calming, that it is predictable, and that it is reliable. So let's break that down. Consistent, what does that mean? So when you're thinking about consistency, think about what time you and your child wake up each morning, as well as what time they go to bed each night. Now, the amount of time that they need in bed is something different. How you determine your bedtimes based on your wake time, that's a little something different too. I have webinars on that and you can certainly look at that or some of my other long form videos. But when you're looking at consistency, really what I'm asking you to think about is, can you wake up relatively about the same time each day, even on the weekends? Does not have to be perfect science. You don't have to worry that if you're up at, 6:30 a.m. for school, Monday through Friday, that you're holding straight to a 6:30 on the weekends. But if you can stay within an hour of that, will help to maintain your child's circadian rhythm and balance their hormones so that their body knows that this is the cycle that we're doing and start to prepare for and generate and produce the hormones at the right time. You want to make sure that you are supporting sleep pressure. So what does that mean? You want to set the stage during your bedtime routine so that you are encouraging your child to feel tired as the evening goes on, and the sleep pressure that they might naturally be building through their hormones, you're not countermanding. So we know that melatonin builds in the evening and that helps prepare us and gets us sleepy and drowsy for sleep. But we can also do things that countermand that, like having lots of sugar or caffeine later in the evening, things like being extremely active, jumping on trampolines and running around. Those things are activating and generates cortisol, so it countermands the melatonin production. Things like being on devices, the blue light. So there are things that we do that don't help us when it comes to generating good sleep. So you want to think about your routine in terms of supporting sleep pressure. To that note, you also want your routine to have a calming quality to it. Does that mean that it has to just be all zen? No, you can work from more active activities down to things that are more relaxing for your child, but you do want to be cognizant of the fact that you are trying to prepare for sleep. So in order to prepare for sleep, what are the types of things that calm us, make us feel more restful, put us in the mood to be a little tired and sleepy and prepare us for bed? There's lots of things that you can add to your child's routine in order to help make a calming routine. You really may need to think outside the box on this, especially if you have a child who's extremely active and hyper and is usually like that or sensory seeking most of the day. I do have a list of calming activity options that you can grab. It's for free. So switch over to that link when this video is done or save it in your tab and then go check that out. So things that you might want to think about could be things like a lavender bath. It could be a walk outside in the early evening hours. It can be things that they naturally gravitate to when they are in a calmer state. So maybe they are with their weighted blankets. Maybe they are petting the household pet. Maybe they're just snuggling with you on the couch or looking at books. Really think about and observe your child. What are they doing when they are in a calm state, and can I replicate that into the bedtime routine? You also want the routine to be predictable. You want to cue the fact that there are expectation changes coming up. So the predictability of the routine is going to help your child and their mind and body prepare for sleep. So if we're having the same cues every evening, then our body starts to learn, I'm predicting the fact that this is what I do getting ready for bed, helps us set the clock for them. So if you're always, let's say, cueing the start of the routine with maybe getting changed into jammies, and then we're going to go do puzzles or looking at books, and then maybe we are brushing our teeth and putting our stuff together for the next day for school, and then we're hopping into bed. If that's the type of routine and you're doing it predictably every day, then that will help set the tone where your child now understands what this is leading to, but it also starts to prepare them to become more restful. You also want the routine to be reliable. And when I'm talking about reliable, I mean that it's going to end in the same sleep space each time. So it's not going to end kind of willy-nilly on the couch, on the floor, or somewhere else in the house. It's going to end up in the child's designated sleep space, wherever that might be. It might be in a shared space with a sibling. It may be in your own bed if you're co-sleeping. But wherever the sleep space is, it ends there every time. The last thing you really want is to have your child fall asleep on the couch or the floor, and then you have to lift them and move them. We all know how that works. You're just disrupting sleep. You really want that to end while they're groggy, falling asleep in their actual sleep space. So what else can you do to help support a good bedtime routine? There's a few things. So one is that you can look at maintaining also a consistent wake time routine, right? So you have a bedtime routine. What happens each morning when you wake? Can you get that routine in place so that the mornings are predictable? That reduces stress, it reduces anxiety, and it helps to set the stage for what's to come. So if each morning I get up and maybe the first thing I do is, I'm not going to pretend the first thing that you do is brushing your teeth, because maybe kids are just running through the house. But the first thing you might do might be to hang out on the couch in front of the TV and watch a little cartoons. Then maybe the next thing might be breakfast or brushing their teeth. So just keep the rhythm as close as you can so that you have a predictability to what's happening each morning. Another thing that you want to consider is that you have accommodated for time during the day where they can get their energy out. So if you have a hyperactive child, then this might not be your main concern because they are getting their energy out all day long. But if you have a child who maybe is more passive, maybe they're already going through puberty and they are a little bit more sedate in terms of their interests and they prefer just to sit and chill, making sure that you have accommodated for time where they can get their energy out or get up and moving and be physically active is going to go a long way in supporting sleep. When we engage in physical activity, we are supporting sleep and the quality of sleep that we get. So you do want to get some time during the day. If the child is at school, then they're probably already accessing recess. They may be accessing some physical breaks. Just check in with the school, ensure that that's occurring, and then also replicate that during the weekend. Another thing that you can do to support good sleep during the day is to start to identify and work on skills that may be an issue during bedtime. So things like, can they tolerate that they have to give things up that are preferred and they have to move along to things that they maybe don't like so much? Can they relinquish? Can they give things away? Can they transition? Can they follow some simple instructions? Do they understand how to follow a visual schedule? So all of these little skills, these building block skills, they will help support the bedtime routine, and they will also help to support a reduction in problem behavior during the bedtime routine because we are consciously practicing these skills during other times of the day. So that is another thing to consider. If any of this resonates with you, please check me out on Thinkific or Behavior Live. I post webinars based on sleep, addressing sleep challenges, and promoting and developing skills related to sleep, what I call lagging skills, things that kids need to be working on in order to reduce problem behavior so that we can have better outcomes, not only just in sleep, but in general. I also have a parent webinar. It's a mini webinar. It's pretty short. It's about 30 minutes, but it goes more in depth in the things I've been talking about today. So how to develop a good bedtime routine, what are the elements you should be thinking about, and how to structure and identify things like what time should my kid go to bed. Check that out as well. And then of course, please come on over to Instagram, follow me there. I have a lot of stuff in real content where I just go over some of the key components of supporting our learners, improving their foundational skills, and how that affects sleep. And of course, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and follow me here. Thank you so much. Till next time.